This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so I will want to implement a HA architecture. HA architecture is something which says that it is highly available. Highly available means that the customers which come to my website, it can be a website like Amazon.com, it can be Netflix, it can be Flipkart, anything which I launch via EC2 via AWS should be smooth. The customer should not face latency. They should have a very smooth and pleasant experience. And in case if I or my servers go down due to some reason, there is a theft, there is a fire, there is a flood, something like that, power failure, anything, then even if my server goes down, I always have a backup ready. So you see here in this architecture, basically what happens is you are a user who is sitting there on, let me say on internet, and you type your URL. Now this is Route 53 for you. So let me say your example name is www.example.com. So the moment you type your URL, you will come to this route 53, which will understand that this URL is nothing but an IP address. An IP address is something which is linked to a web machine. So it will route it accordingly. So they will do a health check, which machine is available, and based on your health check, it will do a load balancing. So there is something called load balancer already available here, which will distribute the load accordingly. So let me say these servers are currently up and running. So it will distribute the load here, and there is something called public subnet and there is private subnet. This I will discuss when I'm talking about VPC, but as of now, think like this: that's something which you want to expose to the world, something which you want to show to the entire world. So basically, if you have a website like Amazon.com, so you want your website to be visible publicly, everybody should come and see the website. So you put it in public subnet, and something which you don't want to show to others, like if it is Amazon.com, then who purchased this item, what is his phone number, what is his address, at what price he purchased, how frequently is he purchasing, all the stuff. So these details you would never like to share with anybody else. So your customer base is something which you store it in your DB or your database, and it resides in private subnet. So if something is in private subnet, none other than you can access the content, and you keep it private. And if you have something in public subnet, you basically expose it to the world. So we will also see something called application load balancer and our auto scaling groups. So auto scaling will be like if the demand is more, it will bring more instances. If the demand is less, it will shrink or it will bring it down. Now I have a scenario here. It's generally a question which many times is asked. Okay, so this question says that you have a website which basically requires minimum of 6 instances to run at any point of time. Okay, if you are running 6 instances, it means you are providing high availability to all of your users. Now you want to design a fault tolerant website, a website which will take the load of failure of one availability zone. Okay, so what is the ideal architecture? Now let me go where the examples. Okay, and also try to draw and show the same thing to you. So it says 2 availability zones and 2 instances in each. So if this is my availability zone 1, availability zone 2, this is 1 instance, 2 instance, 1 instance, 2 instance. So it says, the question says I need 6 instances, and you have 2 availability zone and 2 instances. So definitely this is no, not this. Then it says 3 availability zone, 3 instances. So 3 availability zone and 3 instances. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Now it says that it should be able to tolerate failure of one availability zone. So let me say this availability zone has failed. Still I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 instances are still up and running. So this looks okay to me. Let me see the other instances. One availability zone and all the 6 instances inside that. So if you keep everything inside one availability zone, basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What if this availability zone goes down? So it will fail. So not this, not true. 3 availability zones, 2 instances inside each. So if I have 3, 1, 2, 3 and 2 inside each. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So if this instance fails, let me say, so I have only 4 instances and the question says I need a minimum of 6. So this one, sorry. So this one is the best scenario where you have 3 availability zones, and in each availability zone you have 3 instances. So in case if you go by this kind of architecture, 3 instances will always be there as a backup, and in case one of your availability zone fails, you can restore from that and you can go ahead and run your business as normal. So this is the answer. So let me erase the triangle. So this is the answer basically. Spotlight. So this is the answer. 3 availability zone in 3 instances each. Okay. Now next. Now what we are planning to do, or what we will aim to do. This is what we aim to do. So this is my diagram and this is what I'm aiming to do, or this is my project, what it is aiming to do. Okay. So I am having an internet facing website. So I have a website. There are multiple people sitting over internet. They will connect to my internet. They'll connect to internet. Then they will type their URL. Let me say the URL is www.example.com or whatever name you have taken from Freenom website. That's your URL. So they will type a website address or a URL address www.example.com. That will internally get converted to some IP address from my route 53, and then that request will come to this place, the ELB, the Elastic Load Balancer, which is nothing but my application load balancer at this point of time. This application load balancer will detect that some incoming traffic is there, and accordingly it will, based on your EC2 instances. So I have 2 EC2 instances here basically. So it will distribute the load among these 2 EC2 instances. I will also have auto scaling groups here, which will say that if the load is more, you increase the load, increase the number of instances, and if the load is less, you continue with whatever you have. Also, what I'm planning to do is all the code what is there in this instance, I'm trying to take a backup of the code in one of the bucket, and whatever, this is a blog, this is a blogger website. Okay, so it's like a Facebook where you write the content and you upload pictures. So whatever pictures you upload, I want to keep it in one bucket, and whatever code you have written, so I want to keep it in one bucket. Okay, and internally this will be saved in my RDS. Okay, and there is a read replica, or there is a multi-AZ deployment. Basically, I told you what is multi-AZ. Multi-AZ is something where you go ahead and take a backup, and if you have a backup at any point of time, if there is a failure, you will be able to restore it. So this is what we plan to implement under our default VPC at this point of time. Then once we learn VPC, we will see other advanced options. Okay, so this is what I plan to do. So what all topics or what all items I will need here is, I will need IAM. Basically, IAM roles is what I will need. I will need EC2. I will need S3. I will need RDS. I will need load balancing, basically application load balancing and auto scaling. Then I will need this Route 53. Then I will need this CloudFront. So I just forgot to tell you this CloudFront thing, but CloudFront. And what else? RDS. Okay, so these are basic things which I have covered till now, and all of the features we'll be using and we'll be implementing this thing. Okay, so let's start. So we'll start from here. First, we'll create a bucket 1, bucket 2. Okay, and then we will create one role. So we'll create an IAM role, and then we'll create these 2 EC2 instances. Okay, these 2 EC2 instances, and then one RDS instance. So task 1 IAM, task 2 bucket, task 3 RDS instance, task 4 EC2. So let's start with IAM. Okay, So go back to my console and just close this. Yeah, this is my AWS console. Let me clear the drawing, erase all the drawing. So first task is, so let me first delete this. I have it from my previous class. Delete. This is the bucket. Confirm. Similarly, let me delete this also. Delete. So it is media. Okay, so as of now, nothing is there. Let me start from IAM services. IAM. So roles. Now in roles, I already have so many. So let me first delete whatever I don't need. These all I don't need. Yeah, delete all these things. Okay, so I'll create a role. Create a role. Who's going to use your role? So my EC2 is going to use this role. So EC2 S3 as a next. Then if it's a new policy, you can create it or you can choose it from the list. So I need S3 full access. So I have a ready-made policy available. So let me choose this. Say tag. In tag, say name. Sorry. Name. Say this is project S3 access. Some name I give like that only. Okay. Then review. Same name again. Project S3 access. Same thing I give it in my description. Then it is Amazon EC2 is going to use it. S3 full access. Permission has not permission boundaries are not set. So full access, so no boundaries. And the name is project S3 access. I say create a role. So task 1 is done. So where is this? Project S3 access created. Task 1 is done. Now task 2, what I told is the creation of buckets. So let me go to my bucket creation. Let me say S3. Now basically what I want to do here is I want to create two buckets, and one is for code and one is for my photos. So photos bucket I will say some media, and my normal bucket I'll say code. So let me say my bucket hyphen code hyphen 2019, something like this. I'll say create. And the next one is my bucket hyphen media hyphen 2019. Media is that. Let me create 2020. Okay, so I created my bucket media 2020 and my bucket code 2019. For naming conversion, let me make it 2020 only. So let me delete this. Create bucket media code. So basically I have two buckets, media and code, and two buckets are created. Now third thing what I told you I'll be doing is I'll create a first let me create a RDS instance. Okay, so I will go to my database and I'll start RDS. So RDS. So I'll be a bit fast because I believe all these things we have already done. Okay, so DB instance, let me come here. I don't have anything right now. I'll create one. So no, I don't have any feedback for you. I want a standard create. I want MySQL. I want same 5.7.22. Then in template, if you go for production, they'll charge you money. In dev also, they'll charge you money. But my project says that you need multi-AZ. Now it is up to you whether you want to spend money or you don't want to spend money. If you want to spend some money, you can choose this option and you will get that multi-AZ option here. Okay. If you choose the test free version or the free tier, the only thing is you don't get a multi-AZ thing. Okay. So I'm okay with this because I will show you how that multi-AZ or the multi-AZ thing will work. Okay, so I'll use free tier only because I don't want to spend some money here. So let me come to settings. In settings, I say database 123. My database name is 123, and for my simplicity, I'll be using the same name throughout. So master username is database 123, and I'll also log in with the same thing. So my username and password is also same, database 123 basically. That is for my easiness. Okay, you can give separate names, you can give separate username, separate password, and separate db name. So this is all up to you. So this can be different. Then it says db instance. Now because I went for free tier, I'm getting t2 micro. If you use the dev version or the production version, you will get other options also. But for me now, all these are grayed out. I'm not able to choose anything. So t2 micro 1 GB is only what I need, and for my project purpose I think that's okay. Now storage is general purpose. They're giving me 20 GB. They're saying that if you want to enable auto scaling, I will do it for you. I say don't do it for me, I don't need. Then in connectivity, they're connecting to my default VPC, and database is connected in default VPC only. I say additional configuration. So default VPC, publicly accessible, no. Security group, so I don't have a security group right now, use the default one. Later I'll come and change this. Then port number is 3306. Database authentication, I don't have an IAM user for my database authentication. If you want, you can create one, but I am authenticating with my username and password, so that's okay. Then I come to additional configuration. Again, the same thing they're asking again, database name. And you see they have written here that if you don't specify the database name, Amazon RDS does not create the database for you. So please be sure that you create additional configuration. Under that you give the name. So default, whatever they have given, I'm okay. In backup, they're saying I'll give you a backup. I say I don't need a backup. Change this to 0 days and then remove this. I don't want a backup from you. I don't want monitoring. I don't want logs. Basically all these things are something will charge you money. IAM role, I don't want. Enable monitoring, no. I don't want any version upgrade. Do you have any maintenance window? No, I don't have any maintenance window. I don't need delete protection. And it says because you have chosen all these things, you are still under free tier and you can go with that. So I'll say yes, fine. So I'll create a database. Now this database is creating, so it will take some time to get created. Now meanwhile it is getting created, what I will do is I will go and create a EC2 instance for me. So what I'm going to do, I will open or duplicate this. Mm, let me come to services and EC2. In EC2, if I come here, okay, I see few instances from my previous class. Let me delete all these things. Action, terminate, terminate. Okay, so it is terminating everything. I'll wait for some time. Meanwhile it is terminating, what I will do is I'll create two security groups for me. Okay, and the security groups will be something like this. I'll just now draw it for you, pen. So I will have one security group, let me say this one. It will be, let me say, web security group. I will open this for port 22 and port 80. So a normal one which we generally create. But this time I will create another one which is nothing but RDS security group. RDS security group, and here I will open port 3306, but not for the world. I will say this security group, whatever address I will get, no, I will give it here. I'll make custom and I'll give it here. So what will happen is nobody will directly able to connect to my RDS from outside. Somebody who has access to EC2 instance will first connect to my EC2, and then EC2 will allow me to connect to RDS. Now this is a security feature because if you have a database which is exposed to the world, others are coming and seeing the content, that's not good for your website. So we will do it in that fashion. I'll show you what I'm just now talking. I just now spoke. So erase the drawing. Now let me come here. Now, before going there, let me refresh. Why are these two running? Actions, terminate. Okay, so I've enabled terminate protection for them. Let me disable that first. So uh, terminate protection. I have to disable this. Similarly, for this one also, I have to enable disable the terminate protection. Now take these two, action, terminate. Now this will terminate. So let it terminate, so just shutting down. Meantime, I'll come to my dashboard and I'll create two security groups basically. Okay, click here. I'll leave the default one as it is, and the previous ones let me delete. Okay, it's not allowing me to delete because of the instance. Okay, no problem. So I'll create one security group. So I will say my security group name is web DMZ, okay, or web security group, something, web security group. The description also I will give same only. And in inbound, who can come inside? So I will say SSH port 22 from anywhere you connect, and description is SSH. One more rule which I will add is HTTP. So you can come via browser also, port 80, again anywhere, and I will say HTTP. I may add one more thing which is HTTPS port 443. Again I'll say anywhere, HTTPS, create. So I have just now created one security group which is this, and I will name it also then Control V. This is web SG, okay, and I'll copy this group ID with me because I need it in some time. Sorry, I copy this and I keep it with me, okay. So DD6C is what it ends with, okay. Now I'll create one more security group, and this security group is for my RDS, okay. So what I will do, I will say RDS hyphen security group. Description also same, RDS hyphen security group. It is there in the default VPC. I say inbound, I add rule, and I say who is going to connect. So MySQL will connect. MySQL TCP port number is this, but this I let it be as custom, and here I click on my, I type like this S. So the one which I have just now created, it's not showing that. Okay, let me do one thing, let me refresh it once, then it will show. So this is the one I want to attach. Let me try to, if I'm not able to view, I have to create it again. RDS security group, RDS security group. Inbound, I'm saying add rule, and I'm trying to add a rule for MySQL Aurora. 3306 is the default one, and here I'll type S. This time I'm able to see. So SGDD6C is what I want to attach. I will attach that, and I will here I'll say custom create. So now what I have done is I have created one more RDS security group. Let me name it. But I have not opened this to the world. I have opened this to this security group basically. So the connection will be something like this. If you want to connect to my database, first it is like this. This is your EC2, let me say. So this EC2 is connected to my web security group, and this web security group will allow, or this EC2 will connect to RDS. Now if you want to talk to RDS, so what you have to do is, this is the RDS security group. So here I have told that only web, that security group which is I'm using here, no, that can only talk. So if you want to talk to my RDS, you come to web first, authenticate yourself, then I will allow you in. So this is authentication for my database. My database is now no more exposed to the world. Others from outside can't see my database, whatever content I have. Only if you have a web access, then only you will be able to come inside. Basically, if you are authorized. I'm no more saying anywhere, I'm saying custom. I am allowing people and I'm disapproving also. Okay, now there is one very important interview question which is asked many a times is, what if I want to disallow or disapprove or blacklist some IP from security group? So here, like I told, let me click here.
Because can you repeat that what you said?
The security group one, the previous drawings which I was showing.
No, the question something you said, no.
That I'm telling you. Now, one very common interview question is, what is the or can I? Now, if you see your inbound here for the RDS one, in MySQL Aurora, you told I want port 3306 to be open, but for this. Now, this is known as whitelisting. Whitelisting is nothing but you allow people to come in. Can I blacklist? Means I will say that port number 170 user with IP address 172.32.31.16 will not don't allow him to come to my website. Can I do something like this? That is nothing but blacklisting. Can you blacklist a user? Basically, can you blacklist a IP? So in security group, you can't do that. It's a very common interview question, and they will try to put like this. Can I, so I don't want certain users, there are certain users, I don't want them to come to my website, so can I blacklist them? And if I can blacklist them, how can I do it? Can I do it via security group? So the answer is no. You cannot block anybody when it comes to security group. Either you open it full or you don't open it. Like here, if you have opened port 3306, anybody who has access to this will have access to this. Understood? So this security group is like A knows B, B knows C. So if you want to talk to C, you have to know B, like that. But can I do something that D will never, like something like this? Wait, let me draw, then you will come to understand.
So because what you're saying, selective blocking of IPs is not possible.
Exactly, that's the correct word. Okay, so this is my EC2, this is my security group 1, this is my security group 2, and this is my RDS. Now I am saying, if you want to talk to my RDS or if you want to see the content, so anyhow you will come via here only, there is internet here, so you want to come here. So if you want to come here, you first come to my EC2 instance. If the EC2 instance allows you, obviously this will also allow you because you are allowing this thing here, so this will allow you, and then you come here. But if I say that selectively there are 5 IP addresses whom I don't want that they should come, or even if they are coming, I want to block them. Is it possible? Why a security group? It is not possible. Why it is not possible? That because that property is not there in security group. For that, you use something called NACLs, Network Access Control List. This I will deal in very good detail when we are discussing VPC. Okay, but please remember that blacklisting of IPs or selective IP blacklisting is not allowed here. That can be done from here, NACLs. Okay, so this is very common interview question. You can either allow everything or you disapprove everything. Selective is not allowed. Here it is allowed. Please remember, they say this is stateless. This is stateful. Third level is selective. Okay, any questions?
The access is like user level or group level. How it is? Group level, can we give the access?
No, no, no. That's what I'm saying. In security group, you don't have any option like that.
Hmm.
You don't have any
No, if I'm
options.
having, then if I'm having 1,000 EC2 machines, then for the 1,000 people also having this one access to this one database, whatever is there.
Then all your 1000 EC2s will be using the same security group. This one.
Okay. No, if I want
Then
to restrict, I want to restrict few security groups for the few
not
users.
not possible. That is not possible here. That's what I'm saying. It's not possible here.
Okay. Then what is the next this thing? What is the next
The next one
method?
is NACLs or
Restrict.
your NACL.
Okay.
So I will just not show you, but I'll not go inside that. I'll just show you.
What is that? Natting or what?
NACL, NACL,
Nat-
Network Access Control List. I'm just not showing you. Yeah, see, this is there, Network Access Control List, or we say NACL. Okay, so this is the one. Now back to my EC2. So EC2. Now in EC2, what am I going to do is I'm going to launch an instance, and which one is the one? Launch instance. I'm using Amazon machine. I'm using T2 micro, one machine, default everything. I'm not touching anything here. I'll scroll a bit down. IAM, I will use the role which I have created. So this is the role which I have created. If I scroll down further, there is a place called bootstrapping or advanced detail. I'll paste some content there. I'll also discuss what that content is. This is the content. Now let me first copy paste, then I'll say what the content is and what it will do. Okay. Now, if you see the content, there is something called bash bin. So bash bin or shebang is the first statement which will always be there if you are executing a Unix command or a Unix script. Yum update -y, update all the hardware related stuff for you. Then I am saying install httpd php MySQL, because I'm going to use all these things in my website. So I need PHP, HTTPD, MySQL, and I say -y. So don't ask me, do you want to proceed like that? Then you automatically go to this place, cd/var/www/html. Go to that place, and there you create a file called healthy.html. Sorry. You create a file healthy.html. How do you create? So you say echo healthy and you redirect it to a web page which is nothing but healthy.html. So this will help me to check the health of my EC2 instance. Okay, then I am trying to pull a content from website. So there is something called WordPress. uh, 1 second. So let me open a new this thing, new tab. So there is something called WordPress.org. Now, what this WordPress.org is there for? So it says it is an open source software that can be used to create beautiful website, blogs, and apps. So if I am a front-end developer, okay, if I am a developer who knows JavaScript, I know AngularJS, I know Node.js, then I can very well go and design a web page for me. But I don't know all these things, okay, and my target is not to learn all these things. My target is to learn AWS. So I choose this and I do my work. So to choose this, what you do is you click on Get WordPress, and here currently you have 5.3.2.1. This is the current latest version. Now what you can do is you can right click and you can copy the link, okay, and if you double click here, the tar file or the zip file will get downloaded here. It means in your local laptop, but I don't want in my local laptop. Rather, I want the same content in my machine, in my Unix environment, in my EC2 environment. So what I do is I go back here and I use a command called wget. So wget means get it from the internet and install in the remote machine. So I say wget and the URL. So the only difference here is I am using not the latest version. 5.1.1 is the version I am using, and currently they have a much better version available. So let me see what version. 5. What was that? So they have 5.3.2 and I'm using 5.1.1. So features wise both are same only, so no need to worry on that. So once I have downloaded this to my EC2 machine, not local machine, so wget download this to my EC2 machine, unzip it. How to unzip? So to unzip you have this command, tar command basically. Once that is done, I use cp command, cp -r WordPress. So whatever unzipped or whatever the content I have copied, you copy it to my phone, var www.html.
Hello,
Then, yeah, please go ahead.
hello, sir.
Yeah, go
This
ahead.
is can you share that link with that? Hello,
Yeah, I will
can you
share
share
that
that
link.
document, sir?
Yes, I
Okay,
have to share. I will share it.
okay.
Yes. Okay. So now I'm not sharing, but I'll share later because now Gmail does not open in my here. See, Gmail will not open. It is blocked. Great. It is blocked. So I can't open this. I'll close this. Okay, so once downloaded, I will remove the content because I don't need it, and I will also remove the zip content. Both is gone. Then I change the permission. Change mode is to change the permission, and I change the ownership also. Now HTTPD is owned by Apache. Okay, I will show you that. HTTPD. So HTTPD, if you see, yeah, it is a Apache software. So Apache is the owner of that. Okay, so that's why I changed this to change owner -r Apache :Apache. So Apache becomes the owner of the library. Then I create a file ht.txt. I'll tell you why I'm creating this file, and then I have a file called ht.access. This also I'll tell you later. Then I have check config httpd on and service httpd start, means start the services of httpd. So this is the script which I'll be running, and I will say add storage. They will give me 8 GB. I'm okay with that. I will add a tag. So let me say project, sorry, name project, and review and launch. Sorry, one thing I forgot, previous. Oh, I have to do it again. Okay, Linux machine. I'm using T2 micro. I say one instance. I take the IAM role which I have created, and then I copy paste the content. So let me again go there. Control C, Control A, Control B. I add storage. 8 GB is okay for me. I add tag. Tag is nothing but name let me see, project security group. In security group, if you remember, I have created one, so I'll use that. So I created this one, web security group. I'll be using that, launch, and I will be launching that. And I already have a key. If you have a key, well and good. If you don't have, you can create one for you. So choose a, so I will create a new one, or let me use the existing one only. So I acknowledge that I have the key and I launch the instance. So now the instance is getting launched, and also simultaneously on the script which I have given will run also. So I will say instance project. Okay, I'll wait for it to get launched. Meanwhile, I will go to my RDS and see if it is available or not. If it is available, I have to do one change there. So RDS is available. Now I have to do one change.
And how about this one HA? You told high availability. Where is that option to configure it in EC2?
No, that there's no option like that. High availability
Okay.
will come when you configure load balancer, you configure auto scaling, then that thing will come.
Okay.
So you click on database, you click on modify, and you scroll down. In network, currently it is using your default security group, SG something, the default security group. I don't want it to use my default security group. I have created a security group, and the security group which I have created is RDS security group. So I want them to use my RDS security group. Done. So this is done. I can database 123. So I will do one thing. I'll take the endpoint of this. So successfully updated. Close this. Back to my database. So to connect to my data, to connect to my website, I will need the database address, basically the endpoint. So I'll go inside and I'll take the endpoint address. I need this, okay? I'll keep this because I want to connect to this database. So I need the endpoint address. Come back here. The instance is running. So what I will do is I'll copy the public IP address and I'll come to internet and I'll paste it. So it is saying that I have launched a WordPress site for you. If you are okay with this, let's go. Let's start the work. I'll say, okay, let's start. Now, when you are starting your website, okay, it says database name. So if you remember what database name we had given, it was database 123 for me. Okay, so let me give that name. Username was also same. Password was also same. And the database host is nothing but my endpoint. So let me copy the endpoint address. And this is what I have copied here. VP config, done. I'll click on submit. Okay, it will take some time, means it is configuring everything for me, and then I have to do few more configurations, like I have to configure PHP and all. So for today I was planning to cover all these things. So what all I have built, I need 2 more classes to complete this. So I have 2 buckets. I have as of now 1 EC2 instance, 1 RDS, okay, and 1 role. So this much I have done. In tomorrow's class, I will configure ELB, auto scaling, Route 53 and CloudFront, and then I will integrate everything together and it will run. Meanwhile, let me see. It is still in a hang state. So it will take some time basically. If your internet speed is good, it will happen immediately. But if the internet speed is okay, it will take some time. So guys, any doubt from today's class, any questions, anything? So it will need practice, first thing. When you practice, you will come up with good questions. I am expecting that. But at this point of time, do you have any questions? Open for questions. Documents I'll share.
No, tomorrow we'll ask about the high availability, where it comes.
Yes, yes. Others, if any questions, please go ahead. Okay, no questions. Because you have no questions, I'll close this. And I'm expecting that today itself you people will practice this, and tomorrow you come up with more questions. Okay?
Okay, thank you. Okay, sir.
Okay, bye bye.